Good afternoon, everybody. It's Maureen here again. And before you start, I know I was green last week and now I'm pink, but it's still purple at the back, you know, still keeping a bit there. Young man was doing my hair, had a test for his next level of hairdressing examinations, and we came up with this combination. So thank you for everybody who got involved in responding to my message on Facebook about what colour should I go, and the pinks won. So today's a different topic. I want to talk to you about grief. A couple of days ago, in fact yesterday, but overnight yesterday, we lost here, and the people that have been involved in my work at Oxford, we lost a very dear friend. So emotions are still raw, as you can tell. He was an amazing man, amazing dad, husband, brother. He was actually a PhD student, and when he arrived in Oxford in 2011, he had already had one lung transplant, and unfortunately, just after the 5-year point, the transplant started to no longer function very well. I can't tell you the medical terminology or the exact issues, but essentially, for the past several years now, he's been wandering around with an oxygen tank, and unfortunately, the second transplant never arrived. And even if it had turned up yesterday or the day before, he was in such a weak state, he couldn't have received the transplant anyway. It'd gone too far. So we who knew him will remember his crazy, weird sense of humour, his gingerness, because he was a ginger and proud, and all the amazing times and experiences that we had with him. The last time I saw him, he came to one of my leaving dues when I was leaving Oxford. He insisted on coming. Such was the sense of connection, sense of friendship, sense of love that this man had. Such a joie de vivre. His joy of life was just second to none. And as he went around town in his electric kind of chair thing, get out of your way, because he was coming at you. But he was a superstar, a real superstar. So that's what's prompted this subject today. It's about humaning through grief, and recognizing that emotions are just a natural way of being for human beings, and not to stifle them. Whether you're happy, sad, ecstatic, whatever emotion it is you're going through, embrace it, acknowledge it. And if it's an emotion that you don't think you should have, then I would question that. Thoughts and feelings are two sides of the same coin, as I often remember Kathy Casey, one of my mentors, talking about. Two sides of the same coin. You cannot have an emotion without having a thought about a similar thought. They're embedded, they are deeply connected. So if you find yourself having lost somebody, no matter whether it was yesterday, 6 months ago, 6 years ago, or however far back you wish to go, if you have an emotional reaction to that situation, you've just had a thought about it. And don't give yourself a hard time about it. It's perfectly okay. I'm sure yesterday morning, when most of us discovered or were informed of this young man's passing, there were tears. There certainly was on my side, and I know a few others that was the case too. This man had so much vibrancy about him. That's what we'll remember. But there's still tears because we loved him. We just loved him. But it's okay, really okay, to be tearful, to be sad, to be happy on the days when you're happy. And I'm sure his children, his wife and his brother will remember all the crazy things that they did together and have days when they just laugh. And it's okay to laugh through grief too. Perfectly acceptable. Please do not admonish yourself or give yourself a hard time for not wearing black all the time and getting caught out by your thinking. Please let that go. If I can, I will go to his memorial service and I will wear my purple because that's what he wants me to wear, because that's what I've always worn in and around him. I am the purple lady with a bit of pink now, but that's what we'll do. And hopefully I'll be able to go to that. I'm off to Spain latter end of next week for a whole week. So hopefully I'll be around, but who knows? That's just timing. I was reminded of a song by Dido, and it's called The Sun. And it's reminding people, or at least my interpretation of the song, let's put it that way, my interpretation of this song is reminding people that you will see the sun again, even though you've lost somebody really, really close to you, or somebody that you've loved, or even a pet. I mean, I was distraught when some of my birds passed away. So no matter what or who you have lost, you will see the sun again. The sun will rise. It does every day. And you can rest easy in that. And I was looking at some of the lyrics and things like, and you probably don't want to hear that tomorrow's another day, but I promise you, you'll see the sun again. It's a very impactful song, and play it loud. If you're going to play it loud, because it's highly emotional, highly indicative of the experience that you might be going through. Let me take you by the hand. Let's go for a walk, as long as you don't wear black. Don't connect in that way. She goes on to say, I'm coming round to open the blinds because you may have been hiding yourself away. And yes, you're going to have to tell people again and again why you've been hiding away. But that's okay. One step at a time, Adele, and in any of these situations, just take it one step at a time. But I think the clear thing here is, let me take you by the hand. You're going to be okay. So no matter how distraught you're feeling right now, or you had been, you're going to be okay. And that grief is a natural human thing to do. It's a natural emotion for people like you and I, the humans on this earth, to go through. But I've also seen birds, I've seen cats and dogs experience grief too. And I'm sure it's more for most animals in the wild as well as in captivity, go through grief if they've lost their closest connections. I remember when my 18-and-a-half-year-old female bird, Monty, when she passed away, Einstein, who was still with us at the time, was in complete shock. Now, when she was alive, he would have quite happily have gone across and attacked her, but he missed her. There was a deep connection there, a really deep connection. And it happens with each and every one of us. We are connected all as one, whether we realize it or not. We are as one. The human consciousness. So I invite you today to be okay with your emotions, with all of your highs, your lows, not to diminish them, not to try and hide away and stop the tears if the tears want to come. Be at peace with your emotions. Be at peace with your grief. And it's another version of love. It's about loving and respecting yourself, knowing that whatever you're going through right now is okay. And at any moment you can have a new thought, a new emotion. None are good, none are bad. It's whatever interpretation you put on it. So for now, I think I'll leave it there. And if you, like me, have lost someone very close to you, give yourself a hug. You'll be just fine. And if you feel like listening to Dido, it's called The Sun. And I'm just about to play it again because I think it's really cool. It's a really good reminder that you will see the sun again. The earth hasn't stopped turning. It might have felt like it stopped on its axis, but it hasn't. Be okay with where you're at, one day at a time. And if you do need somebody's hand to hold, I offer mine. If you want to connect with me, it's all the W's, MaureenYorkConversation.com. And I can hold your hand and we can go through this together. In the meantime, I wish you a good afternoon and I look forward to speaking to you next week. Now, next week I'm going to be in Spain. In fact, I'm going to be on a jet. So next week may be a little bit complicated, but we'll see. So we'll work that one out closer to the time. In the meantime, have a good weekend and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.